Today's story: Efforts for a Lasting Friendship. In a picturesque suburban neighborhood nestled between rolling hills and tall trees, there lived a young boy named Andrew. His days were filled with the simple joys of childhood, but the most cherished moments were spent with his faithful golden retriever, Max. He had been with Andrew since he was a toddler, and their bond was unbreakable. Every morning, rain or shine, Andrew and Max embarked on their daily adventures. They explored the nearby woods, where Andrew taught Max to fetch sticks and chase after butterflies. They played fetch in the backyard, the laughter of a boy and his dog echoing through the neighborhood. Max's eyes sparkled with happiness as he fetched the ball, knowing he was making his best friend proud. One sunny afternoon, as they were playing in the backyard, a mischievous squirrel darted across the yard. Max, always the eager explorer, couldn't resist the chase. He bounded after the squirrel, disappearing into the dense foliage of the woods before Andrew could react. Andrew knew from his parents that crossing the road was a very dangerous thing to do, as cars were passing by frequently. Being so afraid of the cars and what his parents told him, he did not chase after Max. He could only call his name in hopes he will return. All the callings were hopeless, as it was already late and his beloved dog was still not home. In a matter of minutes, it felt as if the whole neighborhood had sprung into action. Doors swung open, and people stepped out onto their front porches, their faces reflecting worry and empathy. Some neighbors, who had been tending to their gardens or chatting over fences, hurried over to join Andrew in his frantic search. "Did you lose Max?" one neighbor asked, her voice laced with concern, as she approached Andrew with her gardening gloves still on. Andrew nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. "Yes, I can't find him anywhere. He chased after a squirrel into the woods, and now he's gone." Neighbors nodded in understanding, sharing Andrew's worry and fear. They had seen Max and Andrew together countless times, and they knew how inseparable the two were. In the days following Max's disappearance, Andrew's parents, Sarah and David, stood by their son with unwavering support. They knew that Max was not just a pet, he was a cherished member of their family, and his absence weighed heavily on their hearts. The family embarked on a tireless search for Max. Sarah joined Andrew in putting up posters around the neighborhood, her heart aching as she looked at the smiling pictures of Max, knowing how much he meant to her son. David took charge of reaching out to neighbors and local businesses, spreading the word about Max's disappearance far and wide. Their home became a hub of activity, with flyers and posters stacked high on the dining room table, ready to be distributed. Sarah and David also contacted local animal shelters and veterinarians, ensuring that Max's description and information were shared throughout the community. They even organized search parties, with friends and neighbors joining in the search, combing through the woods and calling out Max's name. Days turned into weeks, and Andrew's hope of finding Max began to wane. He put up posters around the neighborhood, visited local animal shelters, and even asked his friends for help. But Max remained missing, and each night, Andrew went to bed with a heavy heart. The days without Max were long and lonely. Andrew's afternoons were spent gazing out the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of Max's familiar golden coat bounding up the driveway. He missed the sound of Max's paws on the hardwood floor and the comforting weight of his head on his lap. One evening, just as the sun was setting, Andrew received an unexpected call. It was Mrs. Jenkins, a kind-hearted neighbor who had seen one of the posters. She told Andrew that she had spotted a golden retriever matching Max's description in the nearby park. Andrew's heart raced with excitement. Could it be Max? Without a moment's hesitation, Andrew, along with his parents, rushed to the park. His heart pounded with hope as they approached the large oak tree that Mrs. Jenkins had mentioned. There, beneath its branches, stood Max, looking tired and hungry but unmistakably his own lovable self. Andrew's heart leaped with excitement and hope. Could it truly be Max? Without hesitation, he thanked Mrs. Jenkins profusely and, with trembling hands, hung up the phone. He rushed downstairs to tell his parents, his voice quivering with emotion. They knew how much Max meant to Andrew, and they were eager to join him on this hopeful journey. Together, they loaded into the car and made their way to the park where Mrs. Jenkins had seen the dog. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the tranquil landscape. Andrew's heart pounded as they approached the park, and he couldn't help but clutch the collar Max used to wear, which he had kept as a keepsake. As they arrived at the park, Andrew's anticipation grew with each step. They made their way to the large oak tree that Mrs. Jenkins had mentioned, the very tree where she had seen the dog. And there, beneath the shade of the oak's sprawling branches, stood a golden retriever that bore a striking resemblance to Max. Andrew called out, "Max!" His voice was filled with a mixture of hope and trepidation. The dog's head turned, and his tail began to wag with increasing enthusiasm. As the distance between them closed, Andrew knew in his heart that it was indeed Max. Max bounded toward Andrew, his tail a blur of joy. Andrew dropped to his knees, tears streaming down his face, as he embraced his long-lost friend. Max nuzzled Andrew's face, as if to say, "I'm home, buddy." The relief and happiness in that moment were beyond words. As they walked home together, Andrew shared the incredible story of their adventure. Andrew's search for Max, a tale of love and reunion, touched the hearts of everyone. It became an instant hit, spreading a message of love, perseverance, and the unbreakable bond between a child and his furry best friend. Life returned to normal for Andrew and Max, but their bond was stronger than ever. They settled back into their old routine of morning walks, afternoon playtime, and cozy cuddles by the fireplace. Andrew realized the importance of never giving up hope and the incredible strength of the love between a child and his dog. Max's doghouse was nestled at the corner of the backyard, under the shade of a towering oak tree. It was a modest wooden structure, weathered by years of sun and rain, but it held a special place in Andrew's heart. As a reminder of this event, Andrew's family decided they should build Max a doghouse. It was painted a warm, welcoming shade of beige that complemented the natural surroundings of the backyard. The roof was slanted, with asphalt shingles that protected Max from both the scorching summer sun and the occasional rain shower. A small, wooden porch jutted out from the entrance of the doghouse, providing Max with a comfortable spot to rest and survey his domain. It was just big enough for Max to stretch out on and bask in the sun or take shelter from the rain. Andrew had placed a soft, cushioned pad on the porch, ensuring that Max could relax in comfort. The entrance to the doghouse was adorned with a wooden sign that read, "Max's Place," in cheerful, hand-painted letters. It was a testament to the special bond between Andrew and his furry friend. Inside the doghouse, Max had a snug and well-insulated space. There was a thick, plush dog bed that Andrew had chosen with care, providing Max with a warm and comfortable place to sleep. Andrew had also hung a few of Max's favorite toys on hooks along the walls, ensuring that Max had some entertainment during quiet moments. Their story served as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, love and determination can lead to the most heartwarming of endings. It became an enduring testament to the enduring power of love and the unbreakable bond between a child and his faithful canine companion. And so, the story of Andrew and Max continued to inspire people around the world, reminding them that no matter how far we may wander, the love of a loyal friend will always lead us back home. If you've listened until now, make sure you like and subscribe, so you'll know when the next story comes around.